Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
Hey, we're going to talk about dating and levels of dating and some other things. But, levels of dating and, between 20, 30, 40, 50. Everybody has a particular way of dating. So the thing is, how much money should you spend before you get that thing? How much money you gotta spend? Again. Okay, we're gonna go back to the young cats. When I was back in them days, what you want to do was you would look at a woman and see how much she fit. Now you got the $1, $2, $3, $4 for the how expensive shit is. You look at it and say, she could be a $2. I spent $2.
So you
on
like
it.
a little scale?
A scale,
a
yes.
little scale joint.
Yeah, so you see the little things. I don't know if some people who have watched this podcast have done it with with sports teams. They'll say, "Hey, here's the $1 tier, the $2 tier, the $3 tier, and then construct a team of $17." Yeah, that's what we're trying to say. We're trying to say, what tier is she on?
Yes.
Are you going to go on to the tier 5?
How many tiers are there? That's what I want to know.
Technically,
how many tiers are there?
We're going to simplify it. 3 tiers. $1, $2, $3. $3 top of the line. You're going to the Chart House. You're going to the top steakhouse in the area. The $1 is McDonald's, Burger King.
Who goes there?
Okay, maybe at McDonald's.
No.
Okay, maybe we'll take you Outback or something like that.
Okay. Let's say level 1 is an Outback situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2 would be, P.F. Chang's. Or would that be in the same group?
I feel like P.F. Chang's is more of a 3 than it is a 1.
Oh, like a 2, 3.
Because we're talking about pure money scaler.
Pure money.
No, P.F.
Ruth
Chang's
Chris?
is the number 1. Just so everybody
You think
knows.
taking someone to P.F. Chang's is 1?
I know it is. What's happening here?
Don't go P.F.
What's
Chang's.
happening here?
My question
I'm all for the Mongolian beef. Okay, I'm all for the Mongolian beef. I know the menu like the back of my hand. I'm a fan of P.F. Chang's.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to say P.F. Chang's is like a level 3 situation.
Damn.
It's with Red Lobster.
I think it's just a raggedy P.F. Chang's you went to. That's how I'm
I
Maybe
know.
somebody took you to a raggedy ass P.F. Chang's. P.F. Chico's or some shit.
I took myself at this point to the P.F. Chang's, a lot of them. And the last time I went, I swear I wasn't even coming back because the service wasn't even that good. I said, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, P.F. Chang's is
Okay, so
level 1.
Okay, so level 2 would be
Right.
What,
So
number
as a matter of fact, as a lady.
Yes. What would
What would
number?
you consider
Level
level
2
2
is going to be like your high-end cliche restaurants.
Okay.
So Ruth Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then what would be 3?
Those would be fine dining.
Are we talking about Michelin? Michelin would be 3, I would think. Not even. I think I know. If you send take a bitch to a Michelin place, that's a 3.
Normally, you don't really. So like Maestros, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people might consider Maestros to be like a number 3. I'm gonna go with number 2 for Maestros because to me it's like it's so cliched, right? It's like it's something. Technically, if you're in the dating realm, you've already been there, and so if you're dealing with somebody level 3, you're looking for somewhere where she's not kind of frequented, and so that's why I say the high end places are kind of like those. Doesn't really matter where your money goes. As soon as you get a tax return, big check, unemployment, the guy is going to try to flash and take you to those type of cliche, type of high end places, whether or not he can afford it for the long run.
Okay.
That's why I'm like putting those right where that's where they belong.
Okay.
And then your level 3 places are going to be fine dining, 4 to 5 stars, Fleming's. Roy's. I'm gonna go with Callie's Court.
My mom
I'm still going. I'm gonna go with STK too, but they took the one out of DC. That's GA.
I said, well, if my mom make a good steak, would that be a 4-star, 5-star restaurant?
If she set the table properly, yeah. I mean, I'm okay with. I love a good home cooked meal. Yeah,
Okay.
but I set the table properly for me though. Yeah.
So you gotta have the actual steak knife along with the butter knife. You gotta have the soup spoon, the regular spoon, the big fork, and the little fork.
If all those things are being gonna be served, yeah. Don't put no utensils there. Those items won't be served. Don't
No,
put no
I'm
soup
just-
spoon down. And we not having soup. I want some soup now. You done sat me down at your table. I thought I was having soup. Where's the soup at?
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure napkins are in place, you know?
I'm just saying, make it nice.
Exactly, because we have to break it down sometimes. You know, this
Yeah.
they're like, what do you mean? Like, but what if, like, no, we gotta clear it up for you. Like, look, home cooking can be for a 3-star girl. Because sometimes some of y'all niggas can chef up in the kitchen.
And it's levels to these, like, I don't want to say to the meats, but damn, there's levels
to the meat.
Yes.
Baby, you go out and grab me a tomahawk steak and, like, you want to make it an adventure that evening. Like,
Absolutely.
throw some fire on that. Put that on the grill. Let's put some wine in the air. Nah, that's a level 3 situation. It's very intimate. It's going to be more intimate than we could ever be sitting inside of a restaurant with the waiter constantly interrupting us.
That's very true. And you also know, women, let me tell you this. If a guy's taking you to a level 3, you better be ready, because he is not going to take, I got a headache. I think I had too much to drink. Oh, you're going to drink something that night. It may not be wine, but you could be drinking something, because he spent that kind of money on you. He got to get them. He got to get them draws somehow.
I would just assume these are our standard places, though, because if you truly a level 3 man, like, that's not a lot of money that you're parting with. So what are you talking about? Why must I part my panties for you to partake in my insides just because you spent a normal amount of money on a meal?
Again,
It's levels to this.
Exactly.
There's levels to this.
So if I look at you and I'm saying,
and you want to continue to look at me and my level 3 self, you better pump your brakes and enjoy your meal and drop me off.
Yeah, you can get dropped off, all right.
I will be dropped off,
gonna
and it will be all right. Call me in the morning too. I answer.
You'll be right there.
I
How
still
you doing?
answer.
How you doing? How you doing? How was your night?
That's fine.
That was what you doing? Yeah, it was good for you. Yeah, damn, so good for me. That's exactly what's going to happen if I got to spend that kind of goddamn money.
That's what happens when you have a level 1 woman and you take her to a level 3 restaurant.
Oh,
Then you can bet your bottom dollar that you can guarantee yourself, which what we like to call them cheeks.
But
them cheeks.
well, see,
But
what
for
you said.
me, you're spending. This is where I eat lunch at, and you want me to be like, oh, like me and my girls
That's
eat out
cap.
here.
That's
Me and
cap.
this is why this place is my favorite restaurant,
So, but
because
here's what
me
I'm
and my lady friends dine here.
But here's
I don't have to pick up the whole check, and I don't order the same thing that I order when I come here with you. I might get a glass of wine tonight and want to have a bottle. So absolutely, I spend differently at this restaurant. But this is a standard place of mine. That's why I know them off the top of my head.
And that's why
enjoy
dating is so
this.
difficult nowadays. Because a lot of you broke bitches get up and
But I'm not one of them. Just
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying it's true though. What I'm about to say is true though. A lot of broke women get together, they pull their money together and they go do expensive shit. Right?
They pull
their money together to go do expensive shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, like they go to a fine dining restaurant and they all pull their money together so they can all go eat there, whatever. They know the menu like the back of their hand, shit like that. So they think they're a higher standard than they actually are. Because you go and you show up at these places, so you think that you're one of them, but you're not. Because you can't go here by yourself. You gotta pull up with your friends. 3, 4, 5 deep to go there. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying
that the average woman, you will be exposed to certain places for a certain reason. And then they're going to appeal to you also for a certain reason.
Mm-hmm.
The meal not gonna come out the same from one restaurant to the other. The portion's not gonna be the same.
No, it's not.
So for the woman who this is not her scene, it's not gonna be her scene for more than the money part of it. That's one thing that I do truly believe. Like there are some women who kind of fake it till they make it, and those are your cliche restaurants that are they fine dining, but they kind of like you've seen them everywhere and everybody been there. Yeah, you faking it till you make it there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But see, you also look at women who, for example,
you can't fake it too much though.
No,
that shit gonna run out.
And let me tell you, if I'm spending that kind of money on that kind of woman, first of all, I have to see if she fit the decorum of the restaurant because you can't take everybody to certain restaurants.
Throw the mic.
Because
You ain't
you
never
take
told
in
a
and she's talking about, I
lie,
want some scrimp. First, I was like, check, please. Check. The bitch says scrimp. Oh, goddamn. I didn't know.
My thing is like, you deserve whatever happens to you if you find out at that moment.
Yeah,
that
you
your girl
do.
was trifling.
You do. You really do.
Like, remember we watched the video before the last podcast. So I don't even think it's out yet. But as of the time of us recording it. But we talked about the woman who was mad at her man for making dinner.
Oh, yes.
Because she really wanted to go out.
First of all, I didn't have time for that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't have time for her.
Oh.
I didn't have time for her
mad.
and none of her shenanigans.
That was bullshit.
Where was they supposed to go again?
Somewhere. You promised me. I forgot the name of the restaurant, but you promised me. Second date, mind you.
It was one of those types of restaurants that everybody been there.
Yep.
And she said, I only go there on these dates because that's when I can afford
Capital Grill. That's the name of it.
Capital Grill, yeah.
Yep.
That was sadness in the making. And that is how you can definitely tell if a woman is just using
And I don't know if y'all saw that video who watching it.
Free dining.
That food was good.
First of all, those
banging.
steaks, wasn't those steaks?
Yes.
Was they steaks? Nah, those steaks was on blood. But I said it's levels to them.
Oh,
There's levels to
yes.
these meats.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he went to the butcher. He
Man,
went to the
it was-
butcher.
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't go to Safeway and grab that shit out
No,
of the
these
pack.
weren't from the Safeway. You right. You right. These steaks
Yes.
were not from the Safeway. This was grass-fed beef, y'all.
There you go.
Yeah, no.
He had vegetables. He had wine.
And see, that was a good move.
That was a great move.
Because he
Just
was
for the wrong
looking
woman.
for a wife. No, it was a great move for any woman.
For that woman, that was the wrong woman.
For all women. Because it
That
was
level.
a standard. It
Yep.
was and it was defined. He defined the type of woman that she truly was and what she
Absolutely.
was truly looking for.
Yep.
A woman who was trying to be wifed up would have made herself at home, crossed the little legs at the little table, and engaged in conversation. Oh, how you doing? Oh, we going to Capitol Grill next week? No problem with me. Like,
There you go.
Nah, I like a good steak because that's what they serve there too, right?
Yes. Yes. And this dude, it was beautiful.
Yeah, no, he was on point with it. Dishes were nice. He had a nice place.
Yes.
It was a nice situation. And it was the intimacy, but when you're not used to intimacy and you don't really have that concept of it and, you just letting men take you out and then, you just choosing whether or not you're going to go home and ghost them or go home and fuck them, then I guess you don't look for it until you're 40. And then you demanding a certain type of thing.
Yes. I got to have this. No, first of all, you're level one. You're level one. You will always be a level one because that's all you know and you choose
You
not
lack
to do better.
accountability.
Total accountability.
You lack accountability as far as the role that you play in the situation.
Exactly.
And sometimes that role is the fact that you keep playing. How long you gonna play in the dating field? How long you gonna start taking people serious? How long you gonna be honest with somebody? How long you gonna be honest with yourself?
Exactly. How many miles you keep putting on that car?
Oh.
How many miles? I mean, when you first drive it off, that's 4 miles. Then it's still a new car until you get on that road and start driving.
Yep.
And then it starts to add up. And then I still look good outside. But the inside, I still see that odometer is going to what? 50,000, 60,000, 70,000.
You're using it up before you can get to that next level.
And now you say, oh, you know what? I want to go ahead and I want somebody else to buy me. First thing you're going to do is beautiful outside. Look around. Yep, beautiful tires, good, everything. Oh, you got 100,000 miles on you. You want top price? You got 100,000 miles on you? You're not a classic 1964 Corvette or 64
Don't
anything.
matter. It don't matter.
Oh, no.
But I still got it. But I still got it.
It puts you like this. You're as valuable as someone's willing to pay.
That's true.
You could ask for 100,000.
And
I'll
if
give you
somebody
$100.
can find somebody for it, then you worth it. And if not, then
You're not worth it because there's a lot of women out here, beautiful, got it going on, got a lot of miles. Doesn't matter how pretty it is.
so the looks run out. There's how many awake hours in a day? Let's say 12. 6 a.m. No. Let's say 9
16
a.m.
hours.
to 9 p.m. No, how many hours you real live awake, hanging out?
Yeah,
So what'd you say, 16?
yeah, from maybe 7 to 10.
I was gonna say 7 to 7. Who goes to sleep at 7 p.m.?
Yes, no, 7 to 10, 7 a.m., 10
All right.
p.m.
Good 15 hours. He just gonna look at your pretty all day.
No.
So what type of attitude do you have? What type of personality do you have? What else do you have that he has to kind of involve with? And is it pleasant?
And all those miles, that means you hit a lot of roads and you went through a lot of bumps.
Mm-hmm.
So that undercarriage is a little creaky, a little spotty.
Yep.
So now you're asking a guy who's going to want to pay top dollar and expect a certain type of car to just accept you for who you are, no matter what.
Right.
And,
so the under creaky part of the car, right?
mm-hmm.
That's equivalent to your personality.
Mm-hmm.
So you want top dollar, but you still got this personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just gotta take me how I am. Sometimes my mouth get a little carried away, but
I keep 100.
Yeah, but at least I keep it real. But he got to deal with that. But he got to be the best he can be. But don't talk to me crazy though. Don't get to talking to me crazy, because then it's a problem.
But so how long you think that guy is gonna stay around?
Not long, because that's where the mileage come from. You keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's where the lack of accountability comes from.
And they don't learn. It's like you don't learn. So I keep turning you down. Oh, I know I'm worth, but you're really not. And a lot of things.
And you could be, but you never take accountability for the parts that you played in the situation. It's always his fault.
Why always got to be the man's fault?
I haven't figured that part out yet, but I just know it is. That's all I know. It's always y'all's fault.
So when you're 40 and you still ain't got no man, got kids, maybe a couple, maybe one.
Yeah.
And you still blaming the man.
Don't want to be involved with you.
No.
Yeah.
No, because
it's still his fault. You ain't found another guy to sign up.
And
it's still his fault.
That guy you're looking for ain't the guy that just pulled up in a Mercedes. He may be a guy that pulled up in an old pickup truck. He may be saying, I ain't paying 1,000. I paid 500. But then you're still gonna be picky. But all along, everybody's been offering you 100. This guy pulls and off you 500. I'm still gonna wait for my 1,000. My suggestion to you probably want to take the guy with 500, because there's no other guy. It's gonna be another guy, but it's way down the road.
And all of his attributes, as opposed to just his monetary attribute.
But that seems to be the only thing that women look at now is the money. That's all I keep hearing is, he gotta have that bag. He gotta be 6 figures. He gotta be that. And this guy's 6 figures. They're the worst some of my bitches on God's green earth. I know quite a few of them. He got the money, but the shit you gotta go through to deal with him, you better get yourself a guy who's a meter maid or something rather than this cat.
I just can imagine being 40 and over, no matter what my situation being, and my money not be spoken for. No matter how much money you do or don't make.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's my disposable income,
mm-hmm.
I dispose of that income how I want to. So now I have to jump into my disposable income, so now you can dispose of it how you want to, all willy-nilly, how I'm supposed to, all willy-nilly. So to me, the idea and the concept that we're walking into these men who are about to save the day with all these big bucks, they don't already have a lifestyle already spoken for. It's just a bizarre concept. And I'm not saying, you're not going to find a man who's going to be able to help you out and ease your situation. But it's just such an extreme thing that we're looking for. You're going from making $33,000 a year to looking for somebody who make $160K.
Yes.
Where y'all even hanging out together at? Do you even know how to conduct yourself in the places he want to move around in? That's weird.
No, you wouldn't be able to, because if he takes you, and the other thing you gotta understand, it's not about the looks. The looks is one thing. It's only a small part of it, believe it or not, because they have to take you somewhere where
you have to speak. You have to move.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's a matter of, can you talk in these places and around these people? Do you know how to move?
And they're gonna test you. They're gonna test your knowledge.
Not? Everybody gets tested in every situation they in. It doesn't matter, what level you're at. You bring somebody new in, you want to make sure that that person moves in that room properly, that they blend in, that they, properly paired for you. You bring a snooty person, a snooty girl who look like she's stuck up, don't got no personality, who just look dry and look like she from the other side of the town, and you bring her around the way.
She's gonna get eaten up.
Everybody they gonna start testing her, right? And they gonna be looking at old boy like, why you with this girl?
That's
she
true.
don't want you for nothing but your money. Please get this stuck up right. Come on, man, you gonna get us caught up out here. Get this girl the hell away. And it's gonna be the same thing when you have, you know, the roundaway girl who, I mean, you just not as polished.
No.
You don't bite your tongue.
Exactly.
You keep it 100, so to speak, everywhere you go. Like you don't keep it 100 when you meeting officials and stuff. Like
you can't. And let me
what are you doing?
See, and what's going to happen is you'll never meet those officials because he understands you're not polished enough to get there. So why you only pick me up at 1:00 in the morning? Why we don't never go anywhere until such? Why we always go to the Outback? And because he knows he can't take you anywhere he normally goes because somebody's going to ask questions. Somebody's going to see him, see you, going to come over there.
Make him cringe.
And he don't want to cringe.
Yeah.
You maybe just a good time.
Yeah, you got the guy from out the hood who, and you know, you just a regular girl from the suburbs, and he pull up, you know, and in your car looking like he flashing like he doing work outside.
Oh.
And you gonna cringe when he pulls up to your job.
Pull up with his pants hanging halfway down.
Yeah, 2 cell phones, both of them ringing at the same damn time. I mean, it's gonna make you cringe just a little bit, and then you're gonna pick up the phone, call up your girl, like, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to do this. Nobody said nothing to you about your choice.
Nope.
But right in your core, you feel it. You know it.
You know
like
the
this
bad
don't
decision.
feel like something that's for me.
Yep.
You didn't meet your match.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the time, especially let's live the 20s and 30s. That is a time of your life where you're just learning yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know yourself. You're just trying to feel what you really like. First, you look at what society says you should like. Fuck society. You need to know what you like. But then you gotta say, okay, you're not gonna find Mrs. Right or Mr. Right off the bat. You gotta go out there and you gotta play the game a little bit. So you gotta spend a little money here and there. You know, you may meet somebody who's decent, but not really the kind you're looking for. So now you got people who are dating multiple people multiple times. You got and with this new technology, everybody texting somebody. They be talking to you.
You texting somebody new. You texting 3 people at the same.
Exactly.
You texting 3 people at the same time and having a conversation with me.
Yes.
And I know because I'm doing your hair while you're doing all these things. You see what I'm saying? I see you sitting there texting all 3 of these women, and that's just in the app. That's not even your regular messages.
No.
That's just in an app.
So nobody's really being upfront
There's no real honesty going on because we're all just trying to like fulfill that, like, I don't want to be alone, I don't want to be lonely type of, and you don't even realize that's what you feeling. Like you staying busy. That's the concept of not being alone.
And T, if you don't do that introspective look in your 20s, you will, and I promise you, you will be in your 40s and 50s, sitting at a table, have that same, why people don't like me? I thought I was a good girl. I thought I was a good guy. Why nobody like me? Well, you never sit down in your 20s long enough and say, who am I? Mm-hmm. What am I? Because that's what you're trying to portray to people. Here's who I am.
Or you never really got the serving, like, spirit of things. Mm-hmm. You only looked for people to serve you. You never looked to serve anyone else. You were so worried about being played that you protected yourself. And by never being vulnerable, like honestly vulnerable with a mate, you're never going to really be able to connect with that person. You're always going to kind of feel slighted. Or that person's always going to feel slighted by you when, like, I can't trust you. And then you're like, I don't care. And moving on to the next one.
And that is what's happening now. Nobody really, I mean, here's why I hear a lot of young people, I want to have a baby. I want to get married. I want to do all this. You're not ready for that shit. You ain't ready for marriage. You damn sure ain't ready for a baby. Mm-hmm. Can you just fucking figure out who you are first before the guy or woman you're looking for asks you, tell me a little about yourself. If you have to start, I'm 5'5", I got green eyes, okay, deeper. If you can't tell them any deeper.
Because you're not doing anything deeper.
I think the issue is that also a lot of people don't even expect things that are deeper. You know what I mean?
God damn.
Think about like when you hear people describe themselves, what's the kind of go-to? The first thing they kind of describe to you is what they do for a living.
That is
like,
also.
In a lot of cases, if you ask somebody, what do you do? Like, tell me about yourself. Well, you know, I do blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
That's like your first sense of self is what you do for a living.
Oh, wow.
Instead of like, well, you know, I enjoy basketball. I play in a rec league. Because I think that's also conflated with the fact that we don't have time nowadays. We don't have time to just do things that are interesting or fun for ourselves. Because by the time you get rid of working, you X out how much time you spend working, X out how much time you spend sleeping. That's how much free time you have.
Yeah, it's not that much. And so the job kind of, in addition to the training to get to that job, the job to a certain extent, it does start to define who you are.
Wow.
Yeah, like so if you're a guy and you have a job and it's like a labor skill type of job, right? Okay, how long you been there for? Now, if you got a minimal skilled job and you just started there,
true,
it does talk to me about the type of person that you are. Just a little bit.
Damn.
You got a degree or two.
Maybe.
There's some discipline there.
Yes. That can show you some discipline.
There's some bit of failure in there. You know what it means. You know what it feels like to fail. You also know what it feels like to succeed and overcome.
Absolutely. So,
yeah, I can understand why people would lead with that. And society, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Yeah, so when somebody asks, well, you know, tell me about yourself. First thing people probably think of is, you know, let me start off with the icebreaker, what I do for a living.
Wow. That's pretty bad because you would think someone have a sense of self, would know it. I do that, but this is what I enjoy and all that because if during this pandemic, when people lost their jobs, at that point,
they were still defined by the job,
even though they didn't have it.
Yeah, even though they didn't have it. Well, you know, I used to work in the meat and packing plant, like you used to.
Wow. But it's what you doing now?
Yeah, you don't work. You ain't worked in last year.
Exactly.
Who are you? Yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't really know who you're dating.
You never had a chance to figure out who you are. In a lot of scenarios, if you look at when people usually end up going into work, right? Like either you went from high school right into a job, or you may have went to college and got a job. But usually once you get a job, that becomes 99% of what you do most of the time. Because you don't have the space to do other things. And sometimes the things that you enjoy, people are afraid of judgment, right? Because you don't want to tell somebody, oh, I enjoy watching basketball. And someone's like, oh my God, like you one of those people who watch sports all the time?
It's like, let me reel them in and secure the situation with this job situation. And then we can get to all the other stuff later on, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's like, damn, that's not at the end of the day who you are. Like, I don't. Like, okay, you're a teacher. What the fuck does that mean to me? In your free time, what you're not gonna do is tell me how to do my ABCs. You're not gonna teach me how to do math. You're not gonna tell me about history. Like, okay, so what else do you do? And a lot of times the answer is nothing. I do nothing else. I go home. I check the internet all day. And that's people's lives. They go to work. They come home. They browse the internet. They watch TV. They go bed.
Yeah.
Wake up, go work, come home, browse the internet, watch TV, go sleep. You're a boring ass nigga. And then you go to your weekends, you go with your girls, y'all get black girl, white girl wasted.
I'm dead.
And then you go home. That's your whole, you've told me your whole week in like 30 seconds.
Damn.
I go home, I go to sleep, I watch TV, I go browse the internet, and I go get white girl, black girl wasted. That's it.
So then what do you do with that? If you're trying to date,
there's nothing to build on.
I mean,
in a lot of cases, that's if you talk to people, especially my age, like the amount of people who I know who don't do shit in their free time.
Wow.
Don't have any aspirations. Don't have any like long. Like y'all don't go to the gym, so y'all don't work out. Y'all don't go like you don't have no badminton that you do. You don't have any musical interests. Like you don't play no guitar, no drums, no French horn, none of that shit. Like y'all niggas don't do nothing. You go home, you go to work, you browse the internet, you go to sleep. That's it. You don't even like. Oh, I know people who do hair. Like you don't do hair, nah. I know people who do nails. You don't do nails, nah. Like, well, what the fuck do you do? What interesting thing do you do in your everyday? And a lot of times the answer is nothing.
Wow.
You get flown out to places, you get taken to locations, but you don't do nothing.
Wow, it's hard to build a relationship like that.
There's no foundation to build anything outside of a superficial relationship.
Yeah, and so that's why I think a lot of people just jump into bed and, that'd be the end of it. Because in the beginning, you're trying to fill somebody out and you're like, well, there must be more to this person. But, my little hormones is doing what they're doing. So let's have a good time. But then you realize after the good time is done but you left something behind, and now you got to try to attempt to build something with this person. Because now y'all got something growing inside of her. And then you realize she was a little bit empty. She didn't even, discover herself.
Oh.
Or him.
God damn.
He had a job and that was, he was able to generate income, but he never figured out what made him, happy, or he never figured out his purpose.
Wow.
And so now you're trying to build with him and it's nothing to really build on. Where's the goals and the aspirations and, the plan and the motivation? And you're like, oh.
And you just got two people who end up just walking around doing nothing.
Yeah.
They kids they raise kids, right? How many kids have you seen that just have no
aspirations?
Right.
None.
None. You're like, damn, your parents ain't never... Your mama, your daddy, ain't nobody ever tell you.
Because you have to see the aspirations in the household. Did mom aspire to attain something and mentions it, or did dad aspire to attain something and mention it? You gotta lead the household.
Oh.
So you do end up creating children who lack aspiration.
And we see it. Well, you don't see it because you have kids still in school. I see it because now I know kids that's the producer's age. So I see what happens when the parents don't do what they're supposed to have done. Yeah. And you're like, what they doing? Oh, kids be kids.
No, I see the children who are supposed to be able to tell us what they want to do next, like now, who can't. And that's because they have no aspiration. And so as you're coming to the end of high school, as you're going into high school, you're supposed to be able to start speaking about what is your next step. What are you going to aspire to achieve? What are you going to do after high school? What do you want to do when you grow up? Remember that phrase? It seems like that phrase is a past time. Nobody really gives a damn about what the kids want to do now when they grow up. They'll just get an internet job type of thing. Like, what? No, the kids need to have aspirations. And so when they're groomed, they come out, they actually say to have an idea of which way they want to go with something.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
anywhere.
But when the parents don't have anything, they don't know themselves, and then you don't have time, like old boy said, you don't have time to figure out yourself at this point because now you're just going.
And that is a recipe for disaster.
It is.
Because
it truly is.
We see that the dysfunction in these dysfunctional relationships. It's just, to me, it just seems like there's no connection. And back when I was growing up, you had some sort of vision of what you wanted to do, or at least aim for something. These kids now just seem to be lost. And society is a different society, of course, but the parents failed because it got wrapped up in work and wrapped up in other things, that they fail to realize it's not a dog where you can just go ahead and throw a bone to it and they'll figure it out. This is a person that as they grow, you need to figure out, now when they're in their senior year, so what you going to do with your life?
Right, because by the time they've got to their senior year, if they're not groomed for the next step and what they want to do, they're so lost because by senior year, everybody's already traveled to those schools to kind of visit them.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly by September what schools they plan on applying to.
Absolutely. Sure
If
do.
they are not going to college after this, they know that, hey, no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this.
Absolutely.
That's just not what I'm doing. I'm not about to spend my energy doing that. Me and my mom talked about it. Me and dad's talked about it, and that's not the direction I want to go in. I want to go to trade school, or I want to work for the year. I'm just have a gap year. I'm gonna go, study abroad, or go spend time abroad with a relative or something.
But and I think a lot of parents, I always hear, I can't wait till they're 18 years old and get out of my goddamn house. And if you spent their 18 years just hoping to get the fuck out your house and not really get them ready for life outside your house, you set the damn kid up for failure.
Yeah.
And it's like, then the man, he ain't doing nothing. She ain't doing nothing. What the fuck you asked her to do? Wow, she just knew she had to be out by 18. Well, she's still in your house. She's 20.
Because this is the scapegoat. You've pawned off your lack of responsibility of yourself now onto the child. Now, because you didn't do what you were supposed to do with yourself, now look at the kid not doing what they're supposed to do with themselves. And it's nothing that you can really do because you don't really know what to do with your own self. You can't even make yourself get to the finish line. By now, you're supposed to help your child get to the finish line.
Exactly.
But it all started off with you deciding to come and play inside a bedroom and you not being familiar with your own self and what you wanted to do with your own self.
And you know what you've done? That situation that happened 18 years earlier, you're just going to make it happen 18 years later with this offspring that happened when you made that decision.
So now they're going to do the same thing.
Same damn thing.
Because you don't ever stop the cycle and say, you know what, son, daughter, 18, let's sit down and talk. Talk about a few issues that I did that were not proper.
And
I reflected on, because you don't reflect on it.
And why is it, as a parent, they don't want to sit down and have that real conversation?
Because they've not reflected on what their walk still. So at 40, and I have an 18-year-old, and I still don't know myself.
Oh, shit.
I just allow my child to age out. If I still don't know self, still have not matured, what I'm going to sit back and tell this joker to do? How can I correct when I still haven't corrected myself?
Oh, that is not good, and that's what we're seeing now.
That's the life. That's where we at right now.
I mean, you got
the
people,
reality,
and it's sad because you look on IG, you see these big prom dresses like the people like they're about to get married.
Yeah.
I mean, they spend all their money.
Official.
Oh yeah.
I saw one where old boy blazer was lit. Literally, that one was blinking red. I said, did that? The girl's dress started lighting up too. I said, dang. I know you can put lights in it.
They like that down.
Like, whoa.
But they're putting all into it. And, everybody got the poor grandma at the nursing home. Look at it. You should put her in the picture. Talking about, damn, girl, you sure look good, I swear.
I'm mad at that.
She is. Roll her old ass out the wheelchair, put her right there, talk about this. Look at your baby. Girl, you sure look good. You're like a day you're going to get married. No, now, we all know that she probably won't get married because she may fuck around and get pregnant after the prom. But she looked good for the prom.
So I'm going to do you one better. It was one who was pregnant, who had a little baby bump, and she went to the prom. And she had on a little sheer dress, and it was, pretty much like how everybody else is trending with the prom looks.
Okay.
And makeup, she was ready for prom, but she did have to go with her bump. And the comment section, they, commended her for holding her head high and still finishing her year. Without that situation defining her, I think. But I thought that was very interesting.
I do have to commend her because she could have very easily just dropped out, and then she would be on this. That terrible situation that happens. You stop going to school, you don't get your GED, you got a kid, you can't take care of it, and you start going in that whole road of disaster for the poor baby. If she at least says, hey, I got to at least get my degree, my diploma, at least she knows I can't play. Right now, I got a baby to take care of, and then she knows that has defined her next 18 years. That she has to make sure that baby's good, along with her growing as a person.
Yeah.
Now, the flip side of that is she probably won't have the baby's father may not be involved because He probably was 18 himself and not ready, just got into a situation, can't handle it, he going to bounce. Because that's the other thing people fail to realize. The man is always going to probably bounce on you because you're the white woman, so you're going to have to take care of that. So that growing or the growth you wanted to do.
Where y'all be going now?
We're going to find somebody else.
From the same hometown. Where did you go?
We went down the street.
Up and bounced your ass. You went down the street. Get your ass back here and change these diapers.
No.
Talking about some you bounced because you was 18.
No, 18.
I'm dropping this baby off to your mother's house.
Hey. And
Lord,
cigarettes.
What you went to go raise the damn cow? No.
See?
But in situations like that, in all honesty, we're going to hope that the parents on both households stepped up and assisted in such a young situation, because the co-parenting of today,
Oh, God, no.
it's these men out here involved with so many women and they still mad. You got money to date and you don't got money for child support. What are you doing?
See, that's different.
They mad is fuck about their child support.
Yeah,
but you got money to date.
Well, see, that's different.
That's different.
Because I didn't
it's
expect.
levels to it.
It's levels.
Yeah.
See, first of all, when we was
level
kicking
one
it.
ass down there. She'll level one ass back where you belong at.
Well, see, if you had protected yourself,
I
better,
should have. True that.
you wouldn't be in the situation.
Now you're damn right.
So, why should we both pay for your mistake?
True. Why should we both?
We shouldn't
yeah.
We shouldn't both pay.
No, we
and
shouldn't.
your kid shouldn't
Somebody's
eat
gotta
on
suffer.
all 7 days. It's the kid. That's why your child's skinny as shit. Cause I ain't gonna suffer. Yeah, that's
We as a collective can't both be ass out.
Yeah.
Somebody's gotta be up.
Somebody got to be.
So I ain't gotta carry the kid, and I ain't gotta deal with none of the things that come with it. So that's all you.
And you know I ain't got no job.
Straight.
You know I ain't got no job. You know I'm
I ain't got no job.
I'm up and coming rapper. You know.
You don't have a job because you don't want a job.
Well, see, you
Come
know,
on.
I'm working my rap career.
No, and if you're
Young
working on
such
your
and
rap
such.
career, you
If I get
you
a
need
job,
a
that
journey.
means I gotta pay child support.
Duh, you got to pay child
That's why you
support
got a job.
regardless if you got a job or not.
No, it's the difference though. When I don't have a job, I make ends meet. You know, I do odd job here, odd job there. If I got an actual job, I have an actual salary, which means when they go to get child support, they say, "Oh, well, you gotta give you X percent."
They can
You
send
got
it to
check.
your employer. So you said pay me under the table.
Yes.
Sadness in a bottle. Sadness in a bottle.
I'll do it later.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
we.
when child support find out, I gotta leave this job.
I gotta go.
I enjoy working here. Y'all.
Yeah. You got money for cars. We got money for nice cribs.
Yep.
We got money for shoes, and we ain't got money for the kids.
See,
We
I
ain't
asked
got
the
money
kid.
for the kids. Like, whatever happened to when the fathers went out and did the shit that fathers do, but that house was good. The fuck is y'all men out here doing?
The
What are
problem.
y'all doing?
Let me say this.
Since when do the men mess up home?
Because men aren't the way men used to be.
They ain't. They mad said.
Levels. It's levels.
So yeah, so let me go ahead and regurgitate what he just said.
Mm-hmm.
He's accusing women of not letting men be men.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And you know where I got that phrase from, right? I got that phrase from my mama.
From your mama?
Yeah. She said sometimes that's what women do. They don't allow men to be men. You block his leadership in the house, and because he don't want to rattle the house up too much, you know, he allows it. And I was looking at her like, well, shit, how long did they allow it for? I ain't never heard of that like this.
It's too much work it's too much work to fight women in the household.
And I think it's the everyday type
It's
of
the
thing.
everyday.
Yeah.
Because imagine.
And then
you
I gotta
go to
lay
work,
down next to her and show her
hot,
them
and I
cheeks.
gotta lay next down to you.
He want
Yep.
them
And, like,
cheeks.
I come home and I'm sitting here like, man, I'm hungry. Ain't nothing out.
Yeah.
Because what you do is you make life at home miserable.
Yeah.
I gotta go outside and be
And I do
miserable.
it real easy too.
And it's really easy
Yeah.
because you're home all day.
Yeah.
To my day hell. You
Yep.
figure when that nigga walk out the door in the morning, I got the whole fucking day to fuck his shit
Yep.
up. Well, how can I start?
Yep.
You know what? I ain't gonna pay the electric bill. That's what I'm gonna start. That's how I'm gonna start today.
I mean, strategic by nature.
Strategic.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're like, nah, I can cost electric today because I pay it I paid on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It's Thursday. So
And he's a stickler for bills being paid on. You know,
yeah,
women don't
exactly.
mind the bills being a few days late.
Oh.
But the men, you be like, you didn't call the bill. The money right there. I mean, me and my mother went out to lunch and I forgot to do it. But I'm going to do it tomorrow. But it's due today.
Yes.
It's due but it's not that big a deal. I'm just going to pay it tomorrow. Yeah, you fuck with him on ways that he don't like to be messed with. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't mess with a man's peace.
Strategic by nature.
See, it's
are.
our peace.
Yeah.
All we really have is our peace. That's all we really want is peace. We just like, can we just have our peace? When we come home, we're going to have to take bullshit in the streets. We got to take bullshit in the car. We got to take bullshit everywhere we go. The one place we don't want to have bullshit is at home. What we want is peace.
Yeah, but see, you got to secure your peace before you secure that household. Because I'm going to assume that if the woman challenged your leadership in the household, she had challenged it before y'all created the
Oh, no
home.
doubt. No
Yeah,
doubt. Then
that's what
that's
happened.
what we call levels of men. Because the level one man, depending on where he at, he may say, okay, you know, I'll back down. I'll bow down.
My father, he just came from my daddy. Did you just come from my daddy? Did you just come from my mama on the show? Dang, because my mother was so good about the way she treated my father.
Oh.
Yeah, but you're right. But he was young. He was very young when they first started off, right? So sometimes it could just be the dichotomy of you being the older woman and him being the younger person.
Absolutely. Because, again, everybody starts off at level one.
Yeah,
Men and women. Everyone starts off there.
Yeah.
And then you grow based on experience, wisdom.
The question is, are you going to grow? Because if you think my daddy at level one today,
Oh, no.
you
I know your daddy
understand? But
ain't. No, I know your daddy is not level one.
He came from my father on him. You didn't even know it.
No. Your daddy, no. Like I said, we all start at one.
At
and
level
then you
one.
build your way
You
up.
absolutely do.
But then some guys live at level one because they don't want the effort to move up, because that takes, I got to be uncomfortable to move
You
up.
got to get uncomfortable in order to be comfortable. You just have to.
You have to be.
You gotta pull the sheets off the bed. You ever laid on the bed with no sheets?
Oh,
Don't do that.
No.
But you do gotta take those sheets off to wash them.
you have
to make that bed back up, to make it back comfortable.
Exactly.
You gotta do the work.
Or you can be like somebody I know who said, "Fuck, what you mean we change sheets? What do you mean you don't change your sheets? Like, are you supposed to leave sheets on the bed for like 2-3 months before you change them off?" No. 2-3 months in your sheets, that's all your ass crust.
I'm dead.
And then skin flicks in that bed for 3 months straight.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
God
No.
damn.
No, that's not the plan.
No.
Oh.
And I think here's the other bigger thing, the thing nobody wants to talk about. There's really very few people to teach level one men how to become level 2 and level 3 men.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's no man in the house at all,
Mm-hmm.
how does he learn to become a man?
There's no lead.
No, because if you
Yeah.
look around and everybody around you, okay, let's say the father's not in there. Let's say the uncle's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a brother, he older brother, piece of shit. Her side of the family, pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody you roll around with, pieces of shit. What are you going to learn to be? A piece of shit if you learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
To level up, who's going to teach you how to level up?
Right.
Because none of them, all of them on the same level. You know what I mean? 60-year-old, 70-year-old level one men I know. And it's so sad because to them, that's all they know. It's like you finally freed them after all these years in prison. And they're like, I don't know what to do out here. You're free.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn back around.
Take your free single self to yourself.
And they're going to go back into prison and close the door because they're scared. Because now that's all they know. They're not going to change. And there's a lot of women dating guys who are just that way. They're broken. They are shattered.
The women.
The women are
Yeah.
dating level one guys who are shattered, which is the worst kind of guy. A level one shattered man. Oh,
They said they needed somebody to hold them tight.
and he there to hold him. He can't do nothing else, but he gonna hold it real tight. He gonna hold it real tight. Eat all our food, drive a car. We talk about that shit.
The thing is that there's nothing wrong with falling in love with somebody who may necessarily not be at your level. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's just being honest with what you're with and being accepting of whatever challenges come with that. If you get with a level 1 woman as a level 3 guy, you understand that there's certain locations I can't take her to, right? Unless she's going to level up, I can't take her that way. There's nothing wrong with saying I like my level 1 girl who don't know shit. She a hood nigga from her spirit. She not with all this fancy shit. She don't want to go to it. There's nothing wrong with having somebody like that and saying, I'm cool with that. And if she cool with not going to these things and we can agree and find that balance, fine.
I think
go ahead.
I think you're speaking to fulfilling each other's expectations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I fulfill your expectations, then we're good.
But
good.
But also remember, if you do accept it, now when you say as a team, as a collective, we're going to grow this empire, you understand that you're going to be one to grow the empire, not her. Because she doesn't.
She might go in a different route than you. So here's what you fail to realize. You can have somebody who may not necessarily be your equal in like 95% of the arenas.
Mm-hmm.
But in that 5% of the arena in which they're good at,
Mm-hmm.
they knock that shit out the park. And sometimes that might be all they're good for.
Yeah.
And as long as you embrace your role, you and I always joke, you're not good at a crisis compared to me.
Mm-hmm.
You and I, we're two different people when it comes to crisis.
Mm-hmm.
You're very good at taking direction. I'm very good at facilitating.
Mm-hmm.
So when there's a crisis, we know, okay, I'm not looking at you for the solutions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at you for support.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you're looking at me for solutions.
Mm-hmm.
If you then for some reason say, do you know what, today I'm gonna be the one to take point. Okay. And it goes to shit. And everything goes wrong. That's the repercussion of me letting you play out of your role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that.
That goes back to the Adam and Eve situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You play out of your role, and
shit
it
goes
sideways.
all the way south.
It goes sideways, and you just ass out.
That's true. And I think the problem is today, people don't realize the level that the person who's at a lower level where they really are. You just in your head like, there may be a 20%, but they're really at 5%. Because in your head, like, it can't be. I know they can do this. They can only do this. But if I give them an opportunity, they can probably do more. But when you do
potential digging, that's what I call it.
Yep.
You dig on their potential.
And every time you give it to them, it falls flat on their face. Like, damn.
You don't accept them for who they are.
Nope.
No, but then the issue is that you accept. It's not even that you don't accept. I feel like you like. There's no way that can happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does. There's no way.
You got so much confidence in like that. It just can't be like
There's
that.
no way. And so you do it again. And you're like, wow, this nigga actually is useless. But that's not the problem. The problem comes from the next step, which is whoever the fuck is useless says, hey man, just give me the ball this time. This time I swear it's gonna be right.
Oh,
like,
God.
yeah, I gave you the ball 3 straight possessions and you airball. So I'm not gonna give you the ball no more today.
You're done.
Yes.
You're done. You're done.
Yep.
But then I'm the bad guy for cutting you off. And now whenever there's a decision to be made, such and such won't let me contribute. My husband won't let me contribute. My wife won't let me contribute. Because they've realized you're not useful contributing in this scenario. But you won't accept the fact that you aren't useful in contributing to the scenario. Wow. And that's the difference. If you're not useful and you airball 3 shots in a row, you have to realize that maybe today's not my night to shoot.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my night
this
to pass.
lifetime.
It's my turn to just play support. I need to just sit back and wherever the fuck you need me to do, I just need to be really good at the thing you asked me to do.
Oh my God. You just said self-awareness. That's basically what it is. You have to be self-aware.
Like today, I'm not good.
Okay with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. There are literal human beings whose job it is to be the best as they possibly can at something very mundane like a sport. And they can't do that shit right.
Yeah.
We literally watched the game this weekend. Golden State versus the Kings. Harrison Barnes didn't even show up. They're not show up, but you get paid a shit ton of money to show up. When these big moments, you got paid $200 million to be on point in these big time scenarios, and you folded.
Yeah.
You weren't useful. That's a problem. The problem is people get paid too much money to be useless. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it just is what it is.
Exactly. And that's the thing that just blows my mind is people aren't aware of the shortcomings. You know, you have to that goes back to you have to evaluate where you are and who you are.
But I think when you're out and you're interacting with people,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to be okay with the situations that go on, right?
Mhm.
Meaning that guy didn't call you back. You have to be okay that he didn't call you back,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
you also have to kind of reflect. Why didn't he call me back? Maybe I did a little bit too much here, or maybe not too much there.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do too much, right? You can't overthink it, and you have to be okay with what happens. But that doesn't mean that you cannot reflect and question, the type of person that I'm being,
Absolutely.
the type of person that people are seeing me.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes the person who you set out to be,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the person who I understand you to be.
Absolutely.
Right? So if I think I'm a cool, fun type of person, and I'm telling everybody, oh, I'm so cool, I'm so fun, like everybody loves me.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, that girl is dry and annoying. Like, come on.
Yep.
I set out to be the cool, fun type of person, but everybody in the room, and when they go to tell the story, they're going to tell everybody that I was dry and boring.
Yeah.
Because at no point did I reflect and say, hey, how do other people take me? Am I really is it that I want to be that person, or am I really that person?
Exactly.
Because sometimes where it seems like a lot of people are living, I want to say, and dressing how they think they are, as opposed to how they really are.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with having aspirations, and I think it goes to this mantra of like dress and act where you want to be versus where you actually are. Like, people have this mentality of like, okay, if you want to be somebody of note, you dress as somebody of note. You play the role until you fulfill the role.
As you're working to attain.
Theoretically speaking,
right?
Should be
That's normally,
that's how it should happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is you're actively trying to be the thing that you pretend to be.
Yes, yes.
I'm the shit because I'm thinking I'm the shit because I have to pretend I'm the shit until I am.
Yeah, because I'm actively
working
trying
towards
to be
shit.
Yeah.
A lot of times people aren't actively working towards the thing that they're trying to pretend to be.
Yes.
Because and sometimes you can fake it so long that you believe what you've been faking until somebody shows you that you've been faking it. And now you can't resolve it because it's too late. You done believed your own bullshit. Mm-hmm. You done fell for your own lie. That's not good.
No.
You should never be actively lying to yourself so much that you believe your own lie.
You're on gaslight yourself.
I heard a guru last night who said you can achieve the height in life, like your peak in life, off of bullshit, but you can still get shot down off of it. Like, wow. Like, bullshit can real life take you to the top, but it's not going to keep you there. So you can fake it until you make it all day, but you're gonna even, like, some people gonna believe you, but you're not gonna stay like that.
No, because you don't have the essence of what it takes to stay there. Because again, you can keep doing smoke and mirrors, and you can until one day somebody has a big fan and blow the smoke away, and then you're like, oh, that's really who you are.
It goes back to what we've been talking about, your foundation.
Yep.
You can't build on a faulty foundation because eventually your foundation is going to get tested. And once your foundation is tested, it's not going to pass the litmus test.
No.
They going to, the little diamond, when they test to see if diamonds are real or not, and they mix that little ding to let you know if it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they check your shit, it's going to be fake.
Yes.
Wearing a whole bunch of glass around your neck. Ain't no diamonds there.
Exactly.
But they were shining.
They were shining, and it looked pretty from afar, but when it came time to test it, it fell apart. The thing is, you should always test yourself naturally before someone else tests you. Because people don't test you unless they feel like they have to. Or they feel like they can. And if they test you and you fail, then that can ruin whatever infrastructure you've already set up. Because you got tested that one time when it mattered, and you got called a fake. And then everyone else was around to see when you got tested. So now everyone sees you as a fake.
Yeah.
And
Ruins
you
your
can't fix it.
reputation.
Yep.
There's nowhere to go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then your relationship is shot to shit because now everybody was like, oh yeah, the foundation is tight. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a facade. Because at some point, really early on, you realize it's a facade. But you're just trying to, it's like telling a lie to tell a lie to keep a lie going. Because you have to
Yeah,
remember every
yeah,
bit of the lie
yeah.
in order for it to continue to work out for you.
Absolutely.
At some point, you're going to forget something.
Yeah.
And that's gonna make the whole house of cards come crashing down, and then you got egg in your face, and you can't bounce back. Especially if it's a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you spent 5-10 years with someone building something, and it was
Mm-hmm.
based on what the other person thought was you,
Mm-hmm.
but you know it wasn't you,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden shit falls apart. And that person says, "Damn, I wasted 10 years with this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
He done lied to me."
Yeah, and ultimately you realize how that situation didn't serve you either.
Yep.
You're like, yeah, I didn't do the things that I had wanted to do for the last 10 years because, I was trying to keep up with what he wanted to do and, it just didn't serve me. So technically I was miserable. And it's like, but you was trying to pretend like you was this type of a woman in order to be around his group of people.
Mhm.
When women level up sometimes I don't want to say lane switch when it comes to their family, but all of a sudden the family don't see them no more. Used to be the main one showing up with deviled eggs at the cookouts and whatnot, pack of hot dogs and stuff, and now you can't even be relied on for hot dog buns because, you done leveled up. Now you with the rich guy, and now you with the round-the-way guy, and, you done went in the wrong direction, the direction that wasn't genuine to who you were.
Absolutely.
And now family don't see you the same no more.
They can't.
They can't. Yeah.
And
So,
who's to blame?
Yourself. Yeah. So when you with a man and, we talk about there's levels to this, when you dating and being engaged with somebody who is truly on your level, they're going to be able to relate to every part of your life. And
Absolutely.
not to say that at points in life you don't have to create boundaries with your family, but he's not going to be the defining reason why you had to create a boundary. If he's a man who helps you and says, babe, you might want to work on some boundaries with your family,
Absolutely.
and he's able to assist with that, be a comforting ear, that's one thing. But that shouldn't be the thing that defines, why you need a boundary with your family, because he's not feeling y'all because, either he's too ratchet or y'all too ratchet. Like,
And that's the start of control.
sometimes sometimes it's not. It's just
Sometimes it's just fucking peace of mind.
it's like
if
your
I met a
family
girl
does
and her whole
too
family
much.
ratchet as shit.
Yeah, like
I
babe.
love you, but I never signed up. Point blank period. I never signed up to deal with your fucking family.
Yeah.
That's your
Yeah.
family.
That you go deal with them.
You go deal with them and keep them out of my life.
Yeah, which means you don't feel you're not going to be pressed to show up for Sunday dinner every Sunday now, because that means you're
Absolutely.
leaving your man at home. And so now the woman who used to show up for Sunday dinners every Sunday, she's only going to show up like once every other month type of thing, because now she has this whole other family at home. And it wasn't to control her, but damn, your family be doing too much. They getting drunk on Sundays, uncle falling the hell out. Like, why would I want to be raising my kids around that?
That's the other thing. Yes.
And so it's levels to it. But if you was with a man who was on your level, and it's not to say that you can't level up with with your family like that, but he would be willing to accept that. And we going to your mom's house for 2 hours on Sunday, and we leaving before Uncle Ray get to doing too much. Before Tom and them come through the door, we out of there.
Yep.
Because I don't want my children overexposed to the shenanigans. That's fair.
And that's respectable.
Mm-hmm.
And you just gotta be aware of that guy. You have to know he's that type of guy rather than a guy who's just trying to manipulate you into a situation.
There's fine lines to this.
Yes, and that's why you gotta be aware, because
know
he's just a guy who I love you. You shouldn't be over there all the time, knowing that they're not a ratchety family. They just
that you should be over there with her also, because we are a family now. So I keep showing up to dinner by myself.
Exactly.
Come on, let me make you a plate.
See,
Yeah.
See,
Come on, I love to make them. I love to serve them. Come on through.
And that's a way for everybody to see him too. That way, a guy who really wants to be involved with you, because he knows if he marries you, he's gonna have to be involved with them some way, somehow. So it would for him would be cool to go there and meet people so he can see them. And let me tell you, man, we understand bums. When we see them, we're gonna sit back and look at them. We're gonna listen to them.
But you know, one other thing men respect is men's space.
Yes.
Right? And so if you're a man and you come into another person's household and you're not a very social type of guy, you don't know all of these people like that, you're not really trying to be that social because it kind of is your Sunday to wind down. Most people in that household will let you be exactly who you are and respect that we're all just trying to enjoy ourselves here. Nobody's bothering you. No,
that's true.
You got to say hello and, small talk, but ain't nobody gonna be bothering you. You a whole man in the space.
Exactly. And then we got to figure out where you fit in.
That's right.
Because you just can't, again, we can either, the grown men, we'll put you in the kid table and work your way up.
Those the only ones that's going to deal with you.
Exactly. Go in with the kids.
Yeah.
And you better get your ass over there.
The man who shows up to the cookouts and he's there with, the teenagers.
Yep.
Go hang out with the men.
Yeah. Go over there with the men.
Yeah. Don't let them check you out.
And that way we can find what we're working with. Because again, I think, like I said, people don't understand levels. They think man, woman. It's not that simple. It's deeper than that. And a lot of people don't understand the work it entails. They just think, it's a lot of different layers. It's like an onion. And a lot of people want to deal with the top layer, the easier. Oh, they look good, they smell good, they're smart.
Or like you got the money or whatever.
Yeah.
And those things are already hard to obtain. Like, obviously people are born pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some people just born more attractive than others.
Right.
Absolutely.
And there are people who were born with wealth. Already started with something. But people feel like if I obtain one of those things, I'm good. And in most situations, you're probably not. Because, you might have the money and you realize that, like, damn, all I'm attracting is just no brain ass women who want me for money.
Yeah.
Or you earn the money, but you don't know how to keep the money.
Right. So you start blowing all stupid shit.
So you broke still, but you got the money, but superficially you look like you're put together. Right? Because we assume because you went to college, we assume because you got two parents in the household that you don't have no trauma or no hurts going on that you didn't deal with, because you're nice looking and attractive. We assume that you don't have any, bad breakup history type of thing.
Absolutely.
Superficial.
Absolutely.
And those are the easiest things, like you said, to deal with.
Yeah. And the thing is, the one thing you said something interesting saying, the two-parent household and I have trauma. Everybody has trauma.
Yeah, but you would assume because you're looking at them superficially. So you just say, oh, okay, I dodged the bullet. He got two parents in the house. You don't know the type of relationship or lack of relationship.
Absolutely.
That those two people created inside that household that trickled off on that person.
Absolutely.
You assume that because, they went to a prestigious university. Oh, he got money. No, he didn't. He actually worked his way through that situation. Got a lot of debt too.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of debt.
So with the prestige came the debt because the parents were doing what they were doing, but he said, "Nah, I'm getting here." But it didn't come with just no easy situation.
No.
And so when you look at that superficial side, it's real easy to say, "Oh, what you do for a living? Oh, what school you went to? Oh, where you come from?" And then try to create, the best case situation that you think would serve you.
Absolutely.
Right? As opposed to you digging deeper and figuring out, well, how could I serve this person if I wanted them on my team?
And what do you have that can help them if y'all decide to become a union? So it's like it has to be give and take. You have to see first, you have to know who you are to know what you need to receive from him and what you can get.
Yep.
Because once that happens and you can link, now you can think about, okay, I can probably see myself with this person. And you can actually grow together, build that empire together.
Because you've already vetted that this person is worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Not somebody, I got to wait a little bit. I got to test about.
I'm waiting on the potential to come all the way forefront. No, you've already vetted this person. You said, nah, this person is actually worth the while.
Absolutely.
They worth me being vulnerable with. They worth me giving my truth to. They worth me being honest with. They worth me working with them. They're
Yes.
worth it.
They are worth it. And you're worth it.
Well, and you've proven yourself to be worth it also.
Ex-
Because you can't come to the scenario looking for a man to give you honesty, loyalty, trust, attention, time, and you playing your games.
Oh, no.
So now he worth it. But when you looked at yourself in the mirror, you realize that maybe I'm not actually worth him because I'm the one who realized playing games. And a lot of times with women, that's what happened because we can assume that they all doing it type of thing, right? And so we find a nice guy, and he nice, he nice looking, he got good conversation and all that, but I don't trust the situation. So now while you being vulnerable with me, you giving me your trust, you being honest, you being loyal, I'm telling you that I'm giving you all those things. You didn't require those things from me, but we told each other that that's what we're giving, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'm lying because I assume that you're lying. Right? So now you have now proven your worth, and I've not. I've actually proven that I'm not worthy.
And that's nasty.
Yeah, and that's it. It's levels to it.
This is so true. And people, what we're telling you, man and women is just a simple thing. It's levels to this. I mean, it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. But there's levels to everything. You have to see what level are you currently on and where you're trying to go to. Also, you got to work for it. It's not going to come easy. It's going to take a little time, some work, perseverance, and you're going to get there. And as he said, levels. You got to figure out where you are, and then you can move forward. And before we end this episode, this month of May is Mental Health Month. Check your mentals. Work on yourself. Get your mind straight, because there's a lot of shit going on in the world today. A lot of bad shit happening every day, and a lot of people are getting sucked into it and it's messing with them. They say that kids are 1 out of 3 kids try to commit suicide in 2021. People are depressed beyond be depressed. Anxiety is an all-time high. They're popping pills and everything. So please, if you got something going on, talk to a therapist, talk to someone, but work on your mentals. Make sure you get yourself straight.
Before, to combo on that, the one thing I read that was kind of helpful was saying when you first wake up in the morning, we as a people have a tendency to get on our phones, start our day instantly. The moment you wake up, you're on your phone, checking your email, reading text messages, checking IG, Facebook. 15 minutes when you first wake up. Don't turn the news on. Don't check your phone. Just get up.
Yep.
Take in the day as is before you touch a single thing. Look outside. Is it raining? Is it sunny? You ain't got to check the weather report. Just look outside.
Yep.
Before you turn on anything, just 15 minutes a day when you first wake up to just be with yourself. Wake up, go run to the restroom. Don't take your phone. Sit in silence. Just think about like, hey man, that was a restful sleep I had. It's a beautiful day out. Get your mental right off jump in a day by just being by yourself for 15 minutes. Then deal with the world. The thing is, we deal with the world and immediately start over processing. And we just woke up.
Because as soon as you look at your phone, notifications are there. Instagram trending, telling you what's popping, Twitter telling you all the crazy stories.
Yes.
So I think that's the best bit of advice as we speak about mental health awareness. Slow down on these phones because they mentally keep us wired.
You don't have to be.
And you can't reflect on what's going on in your life and in your body if you're always mentally busy.
Absolutely.
So I like that. Wake up in the morning, leave that phone right where it's at, and open up those blinds, open up those curtains, get a little sunshine, go relieve yourself, and just relax. Like first 15 minutes, leave that phone alone.
Exactly. Have yourself some tea.
First of all, you already know I got the full cup. You already know. Yes, indeedy.
Yes.
Flavors for days.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I said, just work on yourselves. So with that, we're gonna end this episode of On the Mic with the M.
And T.
People, you know what you got to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell so you can see the new notifications when we put the new episodes. And with that, I want you guys to take the time, relax, chill.